piece of property like this, I'd buy it myself if I had any more money, and I believe you all know that every penny I own is in real estate, and every one I've made has been from real estate. If I had $1 million, I would have it every cent invested in real estate within 90 days, and you all know that. They ain't no way for it to go but up. A piece of land like this here, I sincere believe, will give ye 10% on your investment and maybe more, maybe as high as 20%. Your money down here in this bank won't do that for ye, and you all know that. There is no sounder investment than property, land. You all know that $1 won't buy what it used to buy. $1 might not be worth but 50 cents a year from now, and you all know that. But real estate is going up, up, up. Friends, 6 years ago when my uncle bought the Prater place down here, everybody tried to talk him out of it. He give $19,500 for that farm, said I know what I'm a-doing, and you all know what happened down there. Yes, sir. Sold for $38,000, a piece of land like this. Now, it needs some improving. It's rough, yes it is, but friends, you can double your money on it. A piece of real estate, and particular in this valley, is the soundest investment you can make. Sound as $1, and I'm very sincere when I say that. In the pines, the voices chanted a lost litany. Then they stopped. A murmur went through the crowd. The auctioneer had handed over the microphone to another man. The other man said, "Holler at the sheriff yonder, CB." The auctioneer waved his hand at him and bent to the man standing in front of him. Small man, ill-shaven, now holding a rifle. "What do you want, Lester?" "I done told ye. I want you to get your goddamn ass off my property and take these fools with ye. Watch your mouth, Lester. They's ladies present. I don't give a fuck who's present. It ain't your property, the hell it ain't. You done been locked up once over this. Now, I guess you want to go again. The high sheriff is standing right over yonder. I don't give a good goddamn where the high sheriff is at. I want you sons of bitches off my goddamned property, you hear?" The auctioneer was squatting on the tailboard of the truck. He looked down at his shoes, plucked idly at a piece of dried mud in the welt. When he looked back up at the man with the rifle, he was smiling. He said, "Lester, you don't get a grip on yourself, they gonna put you in a rubber room." The man took a step backward, the rifle in one hand. He was almost crouching, and he held his free hand out with the fingers spread toward the crowd as if to hold them back. "Get down off that truck," he hissed. The man on the truck spat and squinted at him. "What you aim to do, Lester, shoot me? I didn't take your place off of ye. County done that. I was just hired as auctioneer. Get off that truck." Behind him, the musicians looked like compositions in porcelain from an old county fair shooting gallery. "He's crazy, CB." CB said, "You want to shoot me, Lester, you can shoot me where I'm at. I ain't going nowheres for you." Lester Ballard never could hold his head right after that. It must have throwed his neck out some way or another. I didn't see Buster hit him, but I seen him laying on the ground. I was with the sheriff. He was laying flat on the ground looking up at everybody with his eyes crossed and this awful pump knot on his head. He just laid there, and he was bleeding at the ears. Buster was still standing there holding the axe. They took him on in the county car, and CB went on with the auction like nothing never had happened. But he did say that it caused some folks not to bid that otherwise would have, which may have been what Lester set out at, I don't know. John Greer was from up in Granger County. Not saying nothing against him, but he was. Fred Kirby was squatting in his front yard next to the water tap where he used to sit all the time when Ballard came by. Ballard stood in the road and looked up at him. He said, "Hey, Fred." Kirby lifted his hand and nodded. "Come up, Lester," he said. Ballard came to the edge of the cut bank and looked up to where Kirby was sitting. He said, "You got any whiskey?" "Might have some." "Why don't you let me have a jar?" Kirby stood up. Ballard said, "I can pay you next week on it." Kirby squatted back down again. "I can pay you tomorrow," Ballard said. Kirby turned his head to one side and gripped his nose between his thumb and forefinger and sneezed a gout of yellow snot into the grass and wiped his fingers on the knee of his jeans. He looked out over the fields. "I can't do it, Lester," he said.